Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 37 of NFL Draft Analysis by Sideline Specialists. So, in this episode, we are going to review Bo Nix's former teammate and still current teammate because the same team drafted them both, Troy Franklin. That was a mouthful, but it was fun. So, Troy Franklin, wide receiver, Oregon Ducks, now a Denver Bronco, along with his quarterback, Bo Nix. I said this in the Bo Nix video. I think it was absolutely brilliant of Denver to snatch this guy up. Bo Nix gets to come into the NFL with a receiver he not only knows extremely well, but trusts a lot. So I think that's a great thing to do for your potential franchise quarterback. Obviously, that is what they hope Bo Nix will be, and they also will be hoping that Troy Franklin exceeds the potential expectations of his draft position. He was taken in the 4th round, and I think that is a steal. I'm going to say that right now before we look at a damn thing. I've seen this guy's tape, obviously in the Bo Nix video and review. A lot of those passes were to this gentleman right here. So, 6'2", 176, a former 4-star wide receiver recruit, played in all 14 games in his true freshman season at Oregon and started every game in his sophomore and junior seasons. He is a smooth strider as a vertical receiver. He was the top explosive play pass catcher on Oregon's offense the past 2 seasons. His calling card is his ability as a vertical threat, both from the slot and the outside. Over the past 2 seasons, he diversified his roles and his general footwork to create separation in more ways than just through vertical speed. His play strength is a concern when fighting through the contact window and on contested catches. He does need to work on that. He has the height for it. If he could get a little bit more muscle in that frame, I think that could obviously improve. As we can see on the left here, actually, you know what? There's a player comp here. Usually there is not actually one here. Christian Watson, good young receiver, lots of growth to be had. I think they're going to be looking for the same sort of thing in both of these players. Obviously, the Packers want Watson to grow and excel, as will the Broncos want Troy Franklin to grow and excel. 8 on route running, perfectly acceptable. Vert and long speed, 9. That's where it needs to be. Release and footwork, 8. Hands, 8. Change of direction, acceleration, 8. Change of direction, flexibility, 8. Run after catch and contact, 8. Play strength and blocking, 5. Obviously, we already discussed that he does not win contested shit. He should, though, and he probably will in the future if he would like to be a beast. And obviously, competitive toughness, ladies and gentlemen, that's a 10. So he has the willingness to go to battle. Just needs to win those battles. That's all. So, obviously, his weakness is limited route tree, basically just verticals. That will change in the NFL. They will help him adjust, obviously, to the pros and give him a better array of options, I think. As much as Sean Payton says some wild shit all the time, not a bad coach. So, general strength can be a concern, but it does not affect his willingness to go up strong for catches and get his nose into blocks. I absolutely love that. I will take a guy who is willing to play hard every single play over a guy who pusses out. I just will. So, consistent hands catcher who extends his long arms for catches rather than let the ball into his body, 10 out of 10. I've said that every receiver video probably I've done for players from this draft class. You need to learn how to catch with your hands. If you are only a body catcher, you have 0 chance to have a long and successful NFL career. You are going to get hit from angles that you should not get hit from because your body is turned the wrong way. Yeah. Franklin catches with his hands. I saw that. I've seen that already. We're going to watch his highlights, and it'll probably be repeats from the Bo Nix video, and I don't give a shit because this guy's awesome. So, 3-year data. Massive strides. And, that 2023 season with the best grade. Who was his QB? Bo Nix, his current QB in Denver. Got it. Awesome. So, 2021 comes in as a true freshman. Like it said up there, he was on the field a lot. he was available a lot, I should say. So he had 32 targets, he had 18 catches, 209 yards, 11.6 yards per catch for 2 touchdowns. Not insane, 146 snaps. Still a solid grade for a freshman with that low of a snap count. So we like that. And then we moved to 2022. 75 dead on grade. Uh Obviously doubles plus 100 his snap count, and they diversified his uses, obviously. So they put him in the slot for 103. He gets 83 total targets, catches 61 of those for 891 yards, 14.6 yards per catch for 9 end zone trips. Awesome. And then this past season, incredible. So 417 snaps, 80 in the slot, 114 targets, 81 catches, almost as many catches as he had targets in the year prior. 1,383 yards, 17.1 yards per catch. And he visited the end zone and lit up that scoreboard 14 times. That is fantastic. We move down here to the stable metrics. So his ability to do well against zone was not super amazing, but if you press this man, he is going to destroy you. And he did. So obviously the receiving grade versus single coverage was a 99. If he had the ability to just isolate a corner or a safety, depending on where he lined up, he would just win. And it's that simple. And the truth is, his route running would be really excellent, and Bo Nix would put that ball exactly where he needed it. And I'm excited to see this duo just take their talents to the Mile High City. Yards per route run being a 96, very, very superb. We want to see that stat high. That is one of the metrics that really does actually translate to the NFL. And it is one of no wasted moves, no wasted energy whatsoever. Your routes are clean, your hands are clean, you make shit happen. Separation versus single coverage is a 69. Obviously, that's not amazing, but he would still get the job done. And I have to appreciate that. Open target percentage, 77. That's perfectly solid. He does have the speed to get himself open. He needs to gain a repertoire of moves to allow him more ways of getting open in the NFL, especially in the division that he is now playing in. So he did have a fuck ton of targets, so having 9 drops is not incredibly surprising. However, that is a lot, and the drop rate of 10% is also quite shocking. I mean, 1 out of 10 he's going to drop. Got to work on that. Absolutely have to work on that. I'm hoping he is doing exactly that so far this offseason. Like, you got drafted, you weren't a super high pick, you were taken in the 4th round, put in the effort to prove that you should have gone earlier. Shore up your hands. 10th in all of college in deep yards, 6th in deep catches. Great. Forced 14 missed tackles. That's awesome. I love to see that. Did get 7 contested catches. We're going to want to see that go up a little bit, as we saw before. His physicality is a weakness. So, hitch routes. He had 30 targets. That is bananas. That's a lot of targets. His rating is very good on it. That is a great sign. Obviously, 21 catches on hitches out of 30 targets, 262 yards, and a touchdown. No complaints there at all. Go routes, 16 targets, only 6 catches, but he did end up with almost 40 yards per catch and 3 touchdowns. That will give him a rating of 99. That would be much higher if he had even just 3 more catches here. Crossers, perfect rating, only one non-reception. 22-ish yards per catch and a touchdown. Perfect rating on posts. Obviously, you catch all 4 of the ones you got, and 3 of them went to the end zone. I think we know how that's going to work out. So, awesome. Same with screens. 10 of 10. Absolutely fantastic. Not a lot of yards, but if you're going 3rd and short, you go to Troy Franklin. He's going to get the job done. We're going to go down to the testing here. Obviously, he's 6'2". That's great. His weight is pretty low, but that is what allows him to be very agile and bendy. Arm length, definitely above the average that they're looking for. Hand size is quite small. Obviously, that might play into the drops a little bit. Bo Nix does throw hard as fuck sometimes, unfortunately. But then we go down to the 40, right? He's 6'2", and he ran a 4.41. I absolutely love that. 20-yard shuffle. Could have been a little higher. However, it was above the red I'll accept that. Vertical jump, extremely high. He's very athletic with not a lot of weight to actually launch into the sky, which is why he should be winning more contested battles. 3-cone was definitely above average. We're going to call average 50. It's above average. Broad jump, I think it could have been a little higher. However, you're not really broad jumping off the line of scrimmage, are you? No, it's just to kind of measure your leg strength. And it's not the biggest deal. So we'll read this actually at the bottom because this is longer than you usually are. Franklin might get lost in the shuffle of a loaded wide receiver class, but he should not. His smoothness comes from his athletic profile and his confidence in knowing how to win at the position. He needs to continue to get stronger, but overall is a competitive player who can be a good wide receiver too for a vertical NFL offense. I completely agree with that assessment. We're going to jump into some highlights now. Obviously, Oregon, very, very good football team this past season. That turn up field was absolutely brilliant. He had 3 guys around him, should have been tackled for no extra gain. Instead, gains an extra 6. Ooh, it hurt on this shit. He is banged up a little bit, as you can see, because he did not bounce back up immediately. But you know what he did? He got in that damn end zone. That's what he did. So Portland State, I'm at Oregon. We are better than you. Shoulder to chest, touchdown.
Nix now 10 for 12. Play action. Nix over the middle. Caught. Franklin skips it to the outside. Franklin, second touchdown.
Instincts cannot be taught. I've said this before. It is just a true statement. However, when you have the right instincts, when you have the right immediate first response and reaction, consider slowing down. And that is the sort of chemistry that these two have. And that's why I think this was a just absolutely 5-star, brilliant move from the Denver Broncos, a team that is clearly rebuilding. You have instant chemistry. Grab that.
Get it to the tight end. There's the block
and great block by Troy Franklin to allow his teammate to then gain an extra almost 20-ish yards, right?
3rd down and 9.
Fantastic.
Nix with time. Shallow cross goes underneath, and Franklin. Another flag at the end of that play as Franklin gets enough for the first down. Probably a face mask at the end of this play to Troy Franklin.
The Florida State transfers missed time with a knee injury out to his left, down here one-on-one.
Yep, one-on-one at the bottom. Lofted, end zone, touchdown. Absolutely free. Absolutely free. If he gets around the defender, if he gets around that corner on the outside, Bo Nix does have the touch to absolutely provide this man with a filled stat sheet. Oh my God, Quad's bunch at the bottom. Bo Nix says, nah, Troy Franklin's alone at the top. That is a sure thing. Touchdown, Oregon.
Kevin and Boog have to say
easy
at halftime. This big day of college football.
Top of the screen. Deep route, wide as hell open. No one is near him. I understand this is against Colorado, who in this game got exposed to all of the country as a fraud.
On the back end at the safety position.
But yeah, he is so open on this. It's amazing.
Nicely, easy throw for Nix.
Oh well, here we go. 5-0 versus 5-0. Troy Franklin against Washington, the runner-up in the Natty this year. And what does he do? Let's remind ourselves. What does he do? Absolutely cooks on a barbecue the corner and the safety. Finds the end zone in Washington's house. Smooth as silk. Smooth was a word used in that PFF draft guide for many reasons. And that was it on full display right there. 100%.
He just does not get his hands on Franklin at all. He whips.
One tiny little step to the outside, puts his foot to the floor, full speed, easy.
But the miss right there by the corner
absolutely
is what allows that play to unfold.
So
good recognition, great accuracy.
Dan Lanning has said, let's hit an explosive. Let's see where it is.
Bo Nix rotating to the outside, fires one of the sticks. Great first down gain. I love plays like that. They don't need to be insanely flashy. They need to get a certain job done. He cuts to the outside. Defender thought he was going inside. He was not. Touchdown, Oregon. Fantastic. What I like about Troy Franklin a lot is he does not give away his intentions with where he's looking very often. He makes one look and goes for it immediately, not giving defenders enough time to react based off of what they're seeing, based on his posture. He looks right and goes. There's absolutely no hesitation there. That is exactly how you should play. You hesitate, you get throttled, and then injured, and your season gets cut short, and you're a sad game. So, don't want to see that for him. Don't want to see that for anybody. That was a great route right there, too. Alright, this is the USC Trojans. Wide open over the middle. His speed, yeah, number 4. We saw this play before. Number 4 on USC should never play football again. He literally looked so lost. It was unbelievable. Oh, yep, shocker. Deep ball to Troy Franklin against USC. He's going for stiff arms. It's fine. He's out at the about 19-yard line. Huge gain for Oregon yet again, thanks to Troy Franklin's very, very, very excellent route running. This stance is very questionable. We can stop here. I believe that is the end. It's just a bunch of Broncos dancing. And that's that. So, we're going to go ahead and move on to the depth chart. We'll see how he slots in here. So, obviously, Jerry Jeudy traded to the Browns. They still have Cortland Sutton and Marvin Mims Jr. Josh Reynolds added as a free agent. They drafted Troy Franklin in the 4th and Vili Devon in the 7th. Both of them will slot into the second team. And Tim Patrick, who has missed a lot of games due to injury, but could potentially come back and play and contribute, will be the second team on the outside. There's some hope here, right? I know I've said, I think in Bo Nix's video, I was saying like the cap disaster. I was corrected. The cap will recover a lot sooner than I thought it would. Say that right now. And that's a good thing. Yeah, obviously in that division, you don't want to fall into the abyss for too long because the Raiders seem to be moving in a better direction from an organizational standpoint. The Chiefs are the damn Chiefs. The Chargers are in full rebuild mode, but I think their coaching probably improved. We need to see how they even look, though. But I said in that Bo Nix video, I think he could absolutely be a mainstay, long-term NFL caliber starter that wins football games. I think his just intuition, his fundamentals, he doesn't do stupid shit. He doesn't try to force things. This looks pretty good. If you're trying to rebuild and recover from what we now very fully realize was a very bad mistake of a trade, this is good direction, all right? So we'll cut it off there. I think Troy Franklin will fit into this team extremely well. I think you could line him up in the slot ahead of Marvin Mims Jr. and probably have a really good time, even though I really like Marvin Mims. I really like him. I think he's a lot of potential, but we will see what Broncos do decide to do with Mr. Troy Franklin. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you're a Broncos fan, I will not say let's ride. I'm so sorry that ever became a thing. He's gone now. You're safe. If you would like to see future videos, please consider subscribing. Please consider also hitting that like button. It does help us a lot. We are a fresh, very new young channel. We make these videos because we love sports and we just want to also interact with other people who do love sports the way we do. So if you'd like to watch our podcast, you can be notified via YouTube, or you can go ahead onto any of the major podcast media platforms and listen to audio-only versions on there. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again very, very soon.